A free car? A free car? Hey y'all, it's Taj. Welcome back to the channel, and I'm back today with some more free tea. So I asked you guys on my community tab the other day which video you guys wanted to see first, and you all voted on how I manifested my brand new car for free. So here I am with the tea. Story time on the way, so just stay tuned. So first thing, I never consciously manifested my new car until about a couple of months ago when my current car started giving me trouble. Now, mind you guys, I've had this car for the past 2.5 years. It was a gift. Well, it was a loaner from my cousin, who was like my brother. When I sold my other car and started this entrepreneurship journey, I didn't have a car, and he was like, well, we just have this extra car, you can drive it. So I really manifested the current car as well, but another story, another time. Anyway, so I've had this current car, which is the Impala. It's a 2007 Impala. I've had it since, like I said, for about 2.5 years. And for the most part, it has never given me any trouble. A couple of months ago, the transmission on it got really, really bad, and I got nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, this car is about to stop on me. Like, what the heck? I immediately caught myself in the process of about to spiral, and I was like, nope, you know what? I'm going to affirm that I've always had a reliable car. I've always had a reliable car. And I just decided to affirm that when the car started giving me trouble. So let's say this was about 2 months ago is when I first started to consciously manifest not even a new car, just a reliable car. Y'all, the transmission had gotten so bad on this car. Like, first of all, I had a transmission leak. I've had it for pretty much the whole time that I've had the car. And I've never gotten it fixed because it was always like $2,500, somewhere around that area, to get it fixed. And I was like, I'm not spending that much money on getting this car fixed. If anything, I'll add it to, my bank account and just get me another one. So mind you, I've had a transmission leak for 2.5 years as well. So I've been having to refill it with transmission fluid every month or so, like that. I considered it a slow leak. So like once a month I would have to refill it with transmission fluid. 2 months ago, it started getting so bad to where the transmission fluid wasn't even working. Like it would have transmission fluid in it, but in order for me to get it to shift gears, y'all, I literally had to drive around, and thankfully there was a steep hill like not far from where I live. So I would have to drive in second gear around to this steep hill, go up a hill, and going up this hill would kind of force it to shift gears. So had to do that like literally every single day. Every time I left the house, I had to go and find a hill and go up it. Also, like when I was going back and forth to work, now thank God I'm working from home, working for myself, entrepreneurship journey, yes to that. But when I was going back and forth to work, so if the car is parked for longer than 2 to 3 hours in one spot, then whenever I come back to the car, I'll have to go through the same process again of finding the nearest hill and driving up it in order to force the car to shift gears. So I'm sure for anyone, this would become very frustrating. So at the point of it starting to become very frustrating, that's when I had to check myself and was like, you know what? No, you create your reality. What you say, what you believe, what you assume in your reality is exactly what goes. So affirm and assume that you have a reliable car. You drive a reliable car. And at that time, I was affirming that I was currently driving a reliable car. Okay, like I just have a reliable car. And the more I said that, the more I started thinking of things from the past that were true about this car. Did I have to put transmission fluid in it all the time? Yes. Did I have to drive around to the nearest hill to get it to shift gears to initially to get my drive started? Yes. Was that frustrating? Yes. But had the car ever not worked on me? No. It's always, the whole time I've had it, it's always got me from point A to point B. So for me, that was confirmation that yeah, this is a reliable car. So it made me really believe my affirmation. So I really believed that I was driving a reliable car. So this is what I would tell myself every single time I got frustrated. I drive a reliable car. I have a reliable car, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so let's move on to the second step in me manifesting my brand new car for free. So fast forward to August 1st, 2022, which was not too long ago. Okay, I had to go and get my tag renewed, and I know, I wait till the last minute. The tag was due in July for the Impala now, okay? So I went August 1st to get it renewed. I was already kind of nervous going to get it renewed because I was like, ooh, I just don't want to have any issues. So I started affirming that everything works out for me. I was nervous because a couple of months last year, 2021, I did not have insurance for personal reasons that I'm not going to go into. Okay, so I just didn't want to have to pay any extra fees or go through a whole bunch of hoops in order to get my tag renewed. So I just started affirming, which is one of my favorite affirmations anyway, that everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. I have a reliable car and everything always works out for me. So fast forward August 1st, 2022, I have to go to the DMV to get the tag renewed. I get there. The lady tells me what I was fearing anyway, which is you didn't have insurance for 2 months last year and you have suspensions on the car. So you have to do this, that, and pay this, and this in order to get your tag renewed. I was like, yeah, no. In my mind, I'm still like not paying all that much money to go into the Impala. If anything, I'm going to put all my coins together and get me something else. So this was the mindset I had. So I grabbed my keys, thanked the lady for her time, and I left and went and got back in the Impala. Before I drove out of the DMV, I texted my mom. I would have called her, but she's at work. So I texted my mom and was like, hey, can you and your husband start helping me find a reliable car with like a trustworthy owner, but I don't want to spend over $5,000. So I sent her that text. As I'm waiting on the text, getting ready to pull out of the DMV, I say a short prayer and I'm just like, you know what, God, I trust you. I trust that everything always works out for me. I trust that you will send a reliable car and a reliable, trustworthy owner. It will just fall right into my lap and I would know 100% with 100% certainty that this car is for me. I said that prayer, I left it at that, and I went about my business. Keep in mind, me being a manifestation coach and being on this journey for quite some time now, I have a very good mental diet, if I do say so myself. Okay, so it really didn't take much for me to get into this state of knowing, right? So before I could even drive out of the DMV good, after I said my little prayer or whatever, my mom called me and she goes, you can buy my car. Hello? What? She's like, yeah, I'll sell you my car. Mind you, to my knowledge, my mom just paid her car off. So she's the first owner. She bought her car brand spanking new. She's the only person that's ever driven the car. She paid it off. And I just thought, once you pay off a car, you're like excited. You're like, oh yeah, I have a car. I no longer have a car. No, this, that, and the other. I was not thinking in a million years that my mom was looking to sell her car at all. So once I got over all the like, girl, you for real? Like, are you for real? And she's like, yeah, I'll sell you my car. So once we got over that, we went to the next step, which was my mom was like, yeah, she was like, just let me talk it over with my husband. I'm sure everything's going to go fine, though. And I'll call you back and let you know what our final decision is. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm driving home from the DMV, happy as ever, thinking like I've landed a car, like something literally fell in my lap that fast. So by the time I make it home, I eat, whatever. My mom calls me back. She's like, well, my husband is for it. He's like, that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and go through with it. So I'm super excited. The very next day, she starts typing up the bill of sale, and basically the rest is history. So the deal got even sweeter, you guys. I called my dad, and if you guys have been following my channel for a while, then you know that I had to revise my relationship with my father. I had the assumption that he always tells me no. He never helps me out when I'm in need of help and this, that, and the third. And I revised the situation because, like I said, everyone is pushed out to my dad is always willing to help me. Every time I call my dad, he's like, yes, without a problem, like all this stuff, right? So after my mom and I had settled the deal, something in me was like, let's just see how far we can go with this manifestation thing, since everything is happening so fast. Let's just see how fast we can go, how much better this situation can get. So something said to me, call your dad and see if he got half of what the car is, if he's got $2,500. So I was like, okay, bet. So I called my dad and I tell him the situation, and he's like, yeah, like your mom has a great car and she's taking great care of it. So yeah, what do you want on it? And I was like, $2,500. And he's like, okay, cool, I got you. Simple, easy peasy. I'm like, wow. So not only did the deal fall in my lap with a trustworthy owner, my mother, hello, and for the amount that I wanted, $5,000, hello. And I called my dad. He was like willing to give me half of it. So I was only having to come out of my pocket $2,500. Hello. Like, this is the best deal ever. So a couple of days later, my mom drives to my house, her and her husband. She's bringing me the car, bringing me the title, the bill of sale, all these things. And we're going through the transaction. And she hands me the keys and she's like, it's yours and keep your money. I was like, what? Say what? She's like, yeah, keep your money. I said, keep my money, not keep my money. What? A free car? A free car? So y'all, I went from $5,000 to $2,500 to $0 in basically instantly. So yeah, that is how I manifested my car for free. So just a couple of techniques that I used throughout this process, starting with 2 months ago until August 1st, which was pretty much the day it was confirmed that I was getting this brand new car. What techniques did I use, you ask? Okay, let me tell you. So one, I affirmed. I created assumptions for myself. I always have a reliable car. I have a reliable car. I drive a reliable car. Also, I want to point out, I think I talked about this in a few videos back. I'm not sure, but I am going to do a separate video on it altogether. It is how to get into your desired reality. I also quantum jumped intentionally back in June when I basically told myself, I wrote out my desired reality, asked myself in my desired reality, who was I? And I said in my desired reality, I'm not a teacher. So going forward, incidents happened and I ended up not teaching the other half of summer school. And now I don't teach at all. I'm an entrepreneur. So I quantum jumped, but also in this desired reality, when the situation was happening with my car, I also reminded myself, like, wait, also, you're in your desired reality, girl. And in your desired reality, you don't have car problems. You don't have car issues. You don't have any problems with tags. Like, you don't have anything. Everything flows easily and smoothly and effortlessly in your life. Everything always works out for you, best case scenario. So I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm in my desired reality. So in my desired reality, I have a reliable car. This is the assumption that I have for myself in my desired reality. So that was the first thing, was affirmations. The second thing, I know some of y'all are probably thinking like, well, the very thing that you had a fear of is what happened, which was me getting to the DMV and having to jump through all these hoops and pay all this money. Yes, that did happen. That I would consider a 3D circumstance. Circumstances do not matter. They don't matter. As long as you don't react to them and create more of that. I didn't react to that. I didn't give an emotional reaction. I didn't like go in my car like the old me would probably have done and cry like, oh my God, I got to spend all this money on getting a tag and da 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 da. I didn't do any of that. I simply reaffirmed that everything always works out for me. Everything is always working out in my favor. And that I still drive a reliable car, period. So I did not react to the 3D, said my affirmations. And yeah, that pretty much got me into the state of knowing. Oh, and I reaffirmed that I was in my desired reality and nothing but great things happen for me in my desired reality. Everything is always working out for me in my desired reality. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did to manifest my brand new car for free in less than 2 months. So yeah, that's the video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. Also, down below in the comments, let me know of some other techniques that you may have heard throughout listening to this story time that I didn't mention maybe, or list some techniques that I did mention that maybe you're going to try in the future, or that you've already tried and they work for you as well. So either way, comment down below, engage with me in the comment section, especially if you like this content. Please like the video as well. I would like for YouTube to acknowledge this video being valuable to others, and we'll push it out to more people. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and do so at this time. It is free, baby, for all this free tea. So yeah, sending you guys nothing but peace, love, and blessings. Happy manifesting.
Oh, nothing. About to get in my car. I'm about to go to work. No, I can't get no ride. Oh, what you talking about? Look, this is my first time cranking my car. What? Ooh! Ooh, I didn't know that thing right there cut on. No. Ooh. Let me get that toot toot. Oh, let me get that beep beep. And in my back seat, I got my book bag ready for school tomorrow. No big yellow bit. None of that. None of that. Y'all, I'm on the way to work though. I gotta get a name for my car. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come. Don't play with that girl, cause I'm not one of them.